And happy Monday, everyone. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm your host, Dr. Mallory McCoy, and welcome to this week's live stream episode of a Monday moment with Dr. Mal. Ooh, I got flustered. Ooh, that's exciting. As always, may this broadcast bring you what you need in the present moment. And may my light exude positivity and kindness, and may my love be extended to all who could use a little extra. Ashe, let's seize the moment. Y'all, I made it. I'm officially Dr. Mallory D. McCoy. And yes, I'm giving myself two snaps and a twirl because I only a few people know the arduous journey that I've traveled to get to this moment and this part of the life and or part of my life. And no one can tell my story quite like I can. So I'm excited for today, and I'm excited. I'm just excited. Actually, I'm a lot of feelings, but excited is the first one. So I normally start my show with gratitude, and I'm certainly going to get to that. But today I will start with the facts because I need you to know why this matters. Also, you know, I love a good definition, and I'm team facts over feelings. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the different doctoral degrees because, as for me, I will not be doing anything medical with my doctoral degree. I don't even like blood. There are two major types of doctoral degrees: academic and professional. Academic doctoral degrees include Doctor of Philosophy, that's the PhD, Doctor of Education, that's the EDD, that's me, Doctor of Design, that's the DDES, Doctor of Fine Arts, that's the DFA, Doctor of Nursing Science, that's the DNS, and Doctor of Theology, that's the THD. And then the professional doctoral degrees include Doctor of Business Administration, that's the DBA, Doctor of Dental Surgery, that's the DDS, Doctor of Dental Medicine, that's the DMD, Doctor of Podiatric Medicine, that's the DPM, Doctor of Chiropractic, that's the DC, Doctor of Veteran Medicine, that's the DVM, and Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine, that's the ND, and Juris Doctor, that is the JD. So many different types of doctoral degrees. Again, my doctoral degree is EDD. It was really difficult for me to find recent statistics specifically for Black women, because that's how I present myself in the world, with advanced degrees that were consistent. The statistics are minimal and only as recent as 2021, but thanks to Zalonda Simmons Emanuel for writing a blog in 2022 that provided me with the following two statistics. 14.3% of US adults had advanced degrees, which is up from 10.9% in 2011. So 14.3% of all US citizens that are adults have advanced degrees in 2021. But among Black students completing higher education degrees, Black women earn more than 60% of doctoral degrees, 70% of master's degrees, and approximately 66% of bachelor degrees at the 30 high-ranking universities in the United States, but we only make up 7% of the United States population. However, the statistic that stood out the most to me was the percentage of Black women with doctoral degrees. And according to the National Science Foundation's survey of earned doctorates in 2019, that's the most recent statistic I was able to find, 4.4% of doctoral degrees were earned by Black women. So, and then the word of mouth statistic that circulates says that there's a less than 1%, but I'm able to infer based on the jumbled information that I was able to find that the number is growing. However, 4.4%, I'm proud to be in the number. I bet you want to know how I got here to this point. In the infamous words of Langston Hughes, life for me ain't been no crystal stair, but I feel I've certainly been protected and favored. My doctoral degree actually began, and my doctoral journey actually began when I was in the fourth grade. It's like one of my core memories. I specifically remember asking my fourth grade teacher, Miss Herman, what's the highest degree that I can get in education? Because I just knew that I was going to be in education. And she told me that the highest degree that I can attain is a doctorate in education. So I think we were doing an activity about the top 10 things that we wanted to do in our life. And so I remember writing 10, period, getting a doctorate in education administration, because I think that's what she told me that was the degree. And I can literally see the cursive D that I wrote on the paper. And I used to have the paper, but I somehow misplaced it. I'm going to find it one of these days when I'm not looking for it. But I the fact that I was able to manifest my current reality and not even understand, because when I was in fourth grade, I did not know the magnitude of a doctorate in educational administration. I had no idea. Actually, my degree is a doctorate in educational leadership, pre-K through 12. So in the school system, but that's my personal testimony to the power of words and thought. And I just talked about this in a former show and a former blog called You Are What You Consume. Words are so powerful. Thoughts are so powerful. And that is my testimony to the power of it. My dad, my mom, my stepdad, and my siblings did not choose a collegiate path. The only one in my family who chose a collegiate path is my uncle Tim, he currently is a naturopath in Wichita and has a practice there. But it's crazy that and even in this whole process, I never asked him about his collegiate journey, and he's so accessible to me. Like I was just talking to him on the phone. But I say that to say that I probably could have had guidance from his point of view, but I actually didn't seek that out. So I didn't have any guidance on how to apply for college and high school. Even my guidance counselors, I don't think that they ever provided or were apt to providing the information for me to go to college. Um, and furthermore, the kids that I went to school with, they didn't leave the town. And if they left the town, they left the town to not come back. Or if they came back, they were coming back to run their family business. So that was not any of my scenarios. I left and I didn't go back. But I remember specifically in my senior year, in February, I was at the Missouri All-State Choir. I was the two-time Missouri All-Stater, and Dr. Ely conducted our choir that year. And he was an incredible conductor. And by that time, I'd already made up that I was going to go to some sort of music school or music education. Actually, I was thinking about music therapy. But I asked him that what was the best music school in the state. And of course, he said the UMKC Conservatory because that's where he worked, but also that from the statistics was the best music school in the state of Missouri. And so because of lack of funds and because of lack of education on how to apply for college, that was the only college I applied for. And I kind of told myself that if I did not get into that school, um, to do what I wanted to do, then I wasn't good enough. But truly, I didn't have money to keep paying for all these college applications. So I remember filling a college application out by myself. I got accepted to come audition. And so I drove my little white 1995 Chevrolet Cavalier up to UMKC, 3 hours one way. I auditioned that day and then I drove 3 hours back by myself. There was nobody with me. And then, not too, maybe a few weeks after, I received the acceptance letter saying that I was getting into the UMKC Conservatory. Um, that was kind of crazy, but I'm thankful it happened. But because I applied in February, scholarships were already distributed to people who were already proactive. And so I actually paid my way with a ton of student loans, but I made it. I graduated 5 years later. UMKC had a 5 year Bachelor of Music Education program. So 5 years, I graduated 2008 and I got my job, and the rest is history. Um, that was only the beginning of my journey. And there was a lot of stuff that happened in that I can't fully encompass in this space. So I'll write about it one day. And I'll present it in chunks so that it's digestible. But fast forward to the last 5 years, and whoa, life didn't stop lifing because I wanted to get a doctoral degree. It was more boring actually until I received my acceptance letter in February 2019. And then it felt like, uh, you know, a whole lot of things started happening because I had received my acceptance letters. Let's just say I'm glad I don't look like what I went through. That story is coming up in a blog or book near you. So at this time, I want to take time out in a moment to read the dedication part in the acknowledgement section of my dissertation because I certainly want to give flowers to those who helped me on this journey. When I sat down with my partner Raymond and I told him that or he actually brought it to me, hey, do you want to get your doctoral degree? I told him my rebuttal was that this is not a degree that I can get by myself. This is a family degree because I'm going to need lots of support. And at that time, he agreed, and so he was the only one on the part of my journey. There were a lot of people, so I want to take this time to make sure that I give gratitude. The title of my research is Black Females' Perception of Their Social Emotional Learning and the Inclusion of Counter Spaces in Suburban High Schools. I dedicated this work to as a love letter to my 9-year-old self, Mallory Denise Clark. She was always looking for herself in every space and never saw representation of herself in any space that she was in. I hoped that with this work and this research that she feels seen, she feels heard, she feels felt, and she feels love. And when I wrote that, or when my little self wrote that I wanted a doctorate in education administration, again, I didn't even know the magnitude of even what that meant. But look, girl, we did it. So incredibly gracious to her for having the dream of 39-year-old Dr. Mel. Academically speaking, words cannot express my forever gratitude to my major advisor, Dr. Rogers. When my previous advisor retired, I was hoping to get another major advisor who was socially open since my dissertation was so Black girl magic and who would support me in achieving a swift completion. Dr. Rogers has been that for me, consistently providing constructive feedback and expertise. I have most appreciated her academic push to get me where I am right now, and that's finished. I also enjoyed hearing about her travels and to see her granddaughter play soccer and how she's teaching her family how to make Lebanese bread because she's Lebanese. I'm also grateful to my research analyst, Dr. Waterman, who interjected her expertise in data analysis and shared her deep love for animals and gardening during our virtual calls. I loved both the ebbs and the flows of our meetings because there were certainly some high and low parts, but both are beautiful humans, and I'm grateful, forever grateful for them pushing me through to the end. Special thanks to my other committee members, Dr. Fry and Dr. Jacobson, for serving on my committee. Dr. Fry has always been giving and kind and has been with me through different parts of my career And Dr. Jacobson, who I just met, is complete Black girl magic and is incredible for helping me out. She didn't hesitate, not even once, when I asked her to be on my committee. She said yes. So I appreciate that. I'm also grateful for the other members of Baker University Cohort 24. We connected and carried each other through the pandemic. And despite the craziness of it all, we persevered. The majority of us held in there and made it to the end of the courses. And some of us have already obtained our degree, and the others are still moving toward it. Nonetheless, it was an honor to learn from you and academically grow with you. May we continue to check up on each other, and may our text group never dry up. And we still have to take our trip. So somebody needs to start planning our trip because we are out of here, cohort 24. To the 22 ladies who completed my survey, I'm incredibly grateful for your participation because without your contribution, I would not have completed my dissertation. And furthermore, you have helped me add to the research pool that advances knowledge and promotes advocacy for the livelihood of Black girls, Black young ladies, and Black women in any space and counter space we exist. So I appreciate you tremendously. Personally speaking, there are some people who have held my hand or held me up during on my life journey, period. And I can never repay them for what they did for me and who they are to me. But I hope that my work that I will do with this degree makes you proud. And first and foremost, my dad, you have always been there, and you have always been and continue to be supportive to me. You are one of my greatest gifts in this life. I would literally not be where I am today if it not if not been for your personal sacrifices. 37 years working the same job, toiling with the same people. That's the amount of dedication that has served as an example for me. And I am incredibly grateful to you, and I am forever indebted to you. I love you so much. To my mom, thank you for so much for being my emotional rock when you could. Thank you for your vessel that safely housed me and ushered me into this earthly plane, being always willing to listen and pick up the phone when I call. I love you so much. To Raymond, my partner, my life partner, my forever partner, there are truly no words that could properly express my gratitude to you for everything. No one in this life truly knows the full extent of all the good and crazy that has transpired since I started this program, but you. Whew, I'm getting teary. In all the ways, in all the ways I can never express with words, you made it possible for me to achieve my dream of getting a doctorate, and I'm forever indebted to you. I get to graduate with this doctoral degree and with next to nothing student loans because of you. I am grateful for your physical and emotional sacrifices as well. I'm grateful for the 19 years of growing up together because we learned so much that school can never teach anyone together. I will love you as long as time exists and beyond. To my son, Raymond II, you were the driving force that propelled me through the completion of this doctoral program. I never knew I could love anyone as much as I love you. I do what I do so you do not ever have to. You are my joy personified, a source given gift, and I am incredibly grateful to be your mom. For all the times that I had to close the door and spend time away from you, I cannot wait to make it up to you. I love you forever and one more day, sweet thing. To my sister Nicole, thank you for all that you are to me and for being my check in and cheerleader person. We have laughed, cried, fought, and loved each other our whole entire lifetime. Thank you for the gift of you. I love you so much, sister. And to my mother in love, Maria Leathers, thank you so much for being a mighty part of my tiny yet mighty village. You love me like a daughter, and you have helped me with Raymond 1 and Raymond 2 in any way that you can. So I'm just thankful for your presence in my life, and I love you so much. To my babysitter, Kylie, thank you for watching Raymond anytime I needed you, especially on dissertation writing Wednesdays. I have committed to Wednesdays for 5 years, and Kylie has been here most of the time. I have always known that he was in good hands when he was with you, and good luck on your future endeavors. And thank you for helping me to my future. Um, to anyone else in my life who has shared a motivating word, prayed for me, hugged me, pushed me in a positive way. Katie McCoy, we spent the whole pandemic together. I love you for life, sis. Laugh with me, cried with me, listened to me when I needed to vent and have grown woman conversations. Stephanie McIntosh, Ophelia Sadler, thank you so much for your ears and your heart. Invited me out, hung out with me, Vanessa New, Tammy May, Dr. Denisha Johnson, Dr. Ashley Smith. Thank you so much for being my sister circle, my academic sister circle. Loved on me, gave me tips for success in writing dissertations, and shared resources with me, Dr. Shirlisa Jackson. I love you for that. You were willing to give me anything and everything that I needed to get to this point, and I appreciate you. If you liked a Facebook or Instagram post, you watched me offload my thoughts on social media and responded, thank you, thank you, thank you, because you also are a projection of my reality. And I'm incredibly grateful that I manifested you into my life. And lastly, to little Mallory and all other Black girls who are receiving their education from a predominantly white institution, specifically, I see you. I hope that my research also helps you feel seen and supported. I hope that this research highlights to everyone else the urgency to create a counter space in your educational space so you feel like you can breathe in and out the very essence of who you are without anyone making you feel like that you need to police the way you look, the way you talk, or the way you move. Never let anyone dim your light or try to usurp your magic. You are incredible, and I love us. That brings me to my topic of this week, presenting Dr. Mal. For those of you still listening, consider this my open resume. For those of you who keep asking what's next, can you give me a second? This is my public plea. Give me a second. The pressure of this question, what's happening next, feels like when I first got married and people would ask me when we were having babies. And I think to myself, can I enjoy being married first and never say anything? And now I'm saying out loud, can I just rest in completing this incredibly difficult task before thinking about doing something else? And then for the people in the back, stop trying to fill my academic womb before I'm ready. But when I say that, what I'm really saying is that there are so many moving parts in my life already, and there's so many reconnections that I need to make because I had to disconnect to complete this task. That question seems really loaded and is not up for a quick conversation. Like I can't just tell you in a second like what I'm going to do next. So, um to start, you can ask me to come work for you or with you, but I already work for myself. Mallory D. McCoy LLC was established in July 4th, 2020. And on that day, Mallory Motory became one of my DBAs, short acronym for doing business as. I became an active mobile notary, and a year later, I became a remote online notary. I specialize in real estate loan notarizations and estate planning notarizations. I have extensive experience performing all types of notarizations, and actually, I'm currently in the process of renewing my notary commission. So 4 years of notarizations under my belt and adding 4 more years. And then on February 22nd, 2024, when Mallory Lives became my second DBA. That's my personal brand. So with these two businesses together, I plan to take over the world as I know it. And then since it's my brand, I can offer myself in many different ways because my skills are vast. So let me get into it. I've learned many life lessons over the last few years, but the one that I found a lot of value in is that um, I need to make sure that I don't define who I am by what I do, but define who I am by who I am to myself and others. So I'm a person first and foremost, and a woman before, now, and always, who concurrently maintains the following roles. I am first a Black woman scholar. I'm a lifelong student, and I have such a thirst. I'm actually dehydrated in knowledge. Like I can't get enough. I have always been the one who asked too many questions, and I would get straight A's on my report card, and I would get the talks too much at the bottom because that's just me. My brain never has less than 20 tabs open at any given time, and school has always came easy for me, so I just kept going. I graduated high school in 2003 with a 3.7 GPA, went straight to college at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and received my bachelor in music education in K through 12 choral music education in 2008. In 2009, I was right back in school at Baker University, starting my master's program, and I completed my master's of art and education in 2011. And in February 2019, I was accepted into the doctoral program, and I successfully defended on May 1st, 2024, and graduate on May 19th, 2024. And I'm still looking up classes to take. Don't tell anybody. Way down, way down the line. I consider myself a mother goddess. I am a human mother of three souls. One son is earth side, and two sons are on the other side. My earth side son, as I've already mentioned, is joy personified. And at some point, I'll share the story of my angels and how both their souls continue to illuminate my life. What an honor it has been and will continue to be to have grown and birthed this beautiful human. And what an honor it has been to mother him. And there's something to be said about being a mother. I'm a life partner. I've been in a committed partnership with my friend, my best friend, for over 19 years. We grew up together and we have learned so much from each other and with each other. And to be frank, we're at a crossroads in our relationship because our life purposes are vastly different. But the level of support and love that flows between us remains constant and consistent. He's my forever person. And what a gift it has been to share my life with him. And it's been an honor to have someone who chooses to love, care for, laugh, cry, console, support, argue, and make up, have fun with, travel with, learn from, learn with, converse with, and coexist with him. And so I'm thankful our souls found each other this lifetime. Um, and I'm appreciative, 110% appreciative of him. So it makes me emotional to think about it. I'm a sister, daughter, auntie. My dad, my mom, my stepdad, my five siblings, their families, and my in-laws, in-loves, and their families are incredibly important to me. My sister and auntie roles have helped me hone my mothering skills. And let's be real, I love being Auntie Mal. So and being the oldest child, I've always been the torchbearer. So blazing past is not a new thing. It's true what they say about birth order. And baby, I'm blazing it down. I'm a plant mom. I think this is important to my resume because it demonstrates that I care for other parts of the source. The earth is truly all of our home. and it doesn't just belong to humans. So to tend to other parts of source shows compassion beyond the scope of human life. I grow vegetables and I maintain my houseplants. And most of my plants have names, which I'll introduce them to the world one day. And I sing and speak to them. They are alive beings and they deserve love and care. I also eat them, and as I practice a plant-based lifestyle and respect life. I consider myself a servant leader. Servant leaders strive to be of service to others. I'm competent, compassionate, and trustworthy. I'm also empathetic, ethical, and action oriented. Um, I'm an advocate for all. I'm not afraid to use my voice to advocate for the voiceless. It's my life purpose to connect with others, honing my communication and social skills to be a leader in my community. The adaptability and versatility I've had to possess to thrive through this doctoral program has prepared me to thrive in any situation. I've even considered running for my local school board in the future. So if you see me come up on the ballot and you live in my area, vote for me. I'm also a written and oral storyteller. I'm an excellent communicator. It's actually one of my top five Clifton strengths. And to exercise this strength, I've chosen to express myself through this platform and my blog, which in both platforms, I produce, I design, I write, and create all the content by myself. I'm the AI of my operation. In the near future, I plan to write books and create another podcast that will be announced soon. I'm really excited about. I just really have this strong urge to get my story out, and I hope to save others' lives with it. And I actually have the urge to get other stories out too. I'm also not afraid to speak in front of a crowd. So if you want to invite me to speak, just give me the topic and I'll be sure to put the Dr. Queen Mal touch on it. I am a lifelong educator. Coupled with my gift of communication, my passion for educating and reciprocating learning has ascended me to this point. Education is just one continuous reciprocal flow of teaching and learning, and I never stop educating. People close to me don't call me Google Queen for nothing. I have the skill to teach any subject matter to all ages, but my expertise is teaching life to the young. It's so beautiful to be in the energies of the babies because they are the closest to source and their souls are not as weighed down by the world as it does when you get older. I'm also newly passionate about educating and connecting with Black women, young ladies, and girls at a soul level. There's some collective healing that needs to happen as a whole, but I know it has to start with Black women. Not only do Black women need healing, but also others need to heal their unconscious biases about Black women. The weight of the world literally sits on our shoulders, and the cradle of civilization literally lies in our womb. It's power. I'm a children's choir director. When I chose vocal music education as a career, I was just doing it because I am a great vocalist, and as previously expressed, I love educating others. However, after teaching full time for 14 years and working harder than I was getting paid to do, I exited the full time teaching field. I tried to stay away, but the souls of children kept calling me back in my dreams. I even found myself having a dream about school starting when I even wasn't teaching. So that was my cue. So I signed up to substitute teach. And although the pay is still horrible, I love teaching on my terms. Amid this journey, I was asked by my friend and international composer and music publisher Ryan Main if I wanted to conduct the youngest choir of his organization, the Youth Chorus of Kansas City. I said yes, and the rest is history. I just wrapped up my first season with them, and I can't wait until next season. And shameless plug, if you have a singer of any age, kindergarten through 12th grade, because we'll be adding a choir next year. Audition season is open now. So, and come sing with us. I'll put the link in my blog. So, or you can find us at youthchoruskc.org, I believe is what it is. Go to the link though, just to make sure. As I mentioned before, I'm a business owner and I own a couple of businesses through my LLC, but I also am a real estate owner and a property manager. With my partner, we have bought and held homes for rent throughout the Kansas City area since 2009. Through this business venture, I've learned the true ministry of helping people because housing is a basic need. People talk about their landlords all the time, but unless you've been one, you have no idea what to even expect. It is crazy on the side. The stories that we could tell are so incredible that they're almost unbelievable. I could actually put all the stories in a book and it would be like New York's bestseller. Actually, that's a good idea. I think I will put that. I will put our stories in a book because it has been a wild and crazy journey. Adding that to my mental list. I'm an aspiring model. This is just something I've been doing for fun because I cross paths with someone who enjoys being a creative as me. Shout out to Vic's Pics here in Kansas City. But I love taking pictures. I love beautiful clothes and accessories, and I love beautifying myself with big hair and makeup. If you can see me as a part of your visuals, just let me know because I also sing and act. I'm just sprinkling that out in the universe to see what happens. And lastly, but not lastly, for real, I'm a soul coach. This is a new title I'm adding to my list because it's a significant part of my new journey. While writing my dissertation, I experienced a huge spiritual awakening and enlightenment. It has been a riveting experience because I was simultaneously tied to my academic research, which is the most cerebral task to accomplish, and unlocking my heart to the beauty, glory, wonder, and light of my newfound spiritual path. I wanted to dive in so many times and learn all the new things about all the things, but I was locked into completing my dissertation. But now that I'm free to be me, I'm diving to the bottom of my spiritual ocean and collecting the treasure of knowledge that awaits. If you're interested in taking this journey with me, I'll be hosting my sister circles this summer and in my home. So you'll have to be invited. And I will eventually have my own soul space. I'm claiming that today. I also plan to start hosting Soul Sustenance Sundays this summer with the intention of providing the purest sustenance for the souls that choose to partake. Sustenance equals food, but not just physical food. I also have a ton of things to sell. So, because I'm trying to declutter and get stuff out of my house. So, I will be having some OBO summer sales or two, OBO or best offer, because the stuff has got to go. For those of you willing to take the spiritual plunge with me, I read oracle cards. And I would love to practice with you. So shoot me a message if you would like for me to practice with you. And once I get good, the prices are going up. And to close, I'll leave you with a summary of my strengths. As a maximizer, I have the innate ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, always striving for excellence in everything I do. I can effortlessly win others over by connecting with people and forming meaningful relationships. As you can see through this medium, I am a skilled and charismatic communicator capable of conveying ideas with clarity and charm. As an activator, I am talented at turning ideas into action, inspiring those around me to pursue their goals fervently. And finally, my positivity radiates like sunshine, infusing optimism and enthusiasm into every endeavor, uplifting the spirits of those fortunate enough to know me. And in me, you'll find a dynamic, motivating force dedicated to bringing out the best in people and situations. And if you find that I can be a part of your story in any way, just contact me as soon as you're ready. Thank you for listening. My call to action for you, or my call to action for me, I should say, is to carve my path, create my reality, and literally and figuratively write my own story. I am the creator of my story. You are the creator of your story. So I'm choosing to move through this part of my story in power, love, and inspiration. And I felt deeply supported already by the universe and other forces working on my behalf. But if you feel compelled to support me, my journey, or my endeavors, or just send a congratulatory token of love, you can do so to my Cash App, my Venmo, my PayPal, or my Zelle by scanning any of these QR codes. And let me make it bigger so you can see it. These funds that I will collect will actually not be used personally. They will be used with the intention of helping others because that is what I have been called to do. And that is what I'm choosing to do as I move into my next journey. If you do not want to send monetary support, liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing are all free ways to support. You can catch this broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X. I'm now broadcasting to X, and I will be, after I complete this live, uploading to Spotify and Apple Podcasts because here I go. Why not just go all the way? And so before I leave you, I will end with a couple of quotes. This quote, or not a couple of quotes, one quote and multiple affirmations. This quote has been my guiding quote. It has literally moved me into every part of my life. And it's actually in my tagline in on my Facebook page. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. And Paulo Coelho wrote that. Absolutely true. I can 100% attest to its truthfulness. And then here are a list of affirmations that have guided me in thus far, but also I feel like these could be affirmations to guide others. If you go back to my first episode, I talked about how I did a 40-day challenge where I wrote 40 affirmations per day for 40 days about myself. I am blank. I am blank. I am blank. And these affirmations were affirmations that I continually wrote over and over again until I believed them. And so, this life is a gift. What belongs to you shall come to you. All that I want and need is within me. I am brave enough to admit what I want. The world needs my unique gifts. Don't leave them still inside you. And actually, that is not one that I wrote. That is one that came twice to me on one of my tea bags this week, or actually twice on two of my tea bags this week. I'm surrounded by people who support my success. Abundance is my birthright. One day, my story will become someone else's survival guide. I am blooming. It's my season, and I am free. That's my favorite one. All right. Excuse me. That's it for me this week. I finished my first show as Dr. Mel. Um, and thank you for joining me this week. It's an honor that you've listened to this point, and you can catch all the replays. This month, I feel compelled to speak about the educational experience. So tune in next week for a show entitled Teacher Appreciation Week is Not Enough. This is Teacher Appreciation Week this week. So next week, I will speak to the fact that it's not enough. Until then, love and peace to all of you. Have the best week you can conjure up.